Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Alexandria. I am a registered nurse and a freelance health content writer. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about when is the right time to start your freelance writing business. I started this channel with the intent of helping other nurses and healthcare professionals get to know a little bit more about freelance writing and really just the amazing opportunities that come with this type of work that is away from the bedside. So if you like what you hear, please subscribe. So let's get right into it. When is the right time to start a freelance writing business? And the short answer to that, I'm going to give a long answer, obviously, but the short answer to that is how much time and money do you have? That is my response. And that's my response because starting any business, it doesn't matter how little the startup fees may be, there's a time component, and there are bound to be things that you don't know about that you're going to learn as you go through the process. And there's a lot of data out there about businesses failing within their first year, within their first 5 years, within their first 3 years, within their first 10 years. And freelance writing is not something that is, fail proof, but as long as it, just like with healthcare, as long as there are people breathing, there will always be content for you to write about. And so it's, tough to start because you just kind of, may not know exactly where to begin and, what steps to take to get into freelance writing. But once you're in, it's really up from there. So I have a few things that I put in my notes that I want you guys to consider when you are thinking about becoming a freelance writer. So, and in terms of how much time or how much money or when the right time is to start. So I'm going to break my response down into two focus parts, which is time and money, because it really does take time and money. And when those two things are going for you, this might be the right time for you to start a business. So in terms of time, how much time can you invest into certain things like building a website? Building a website is not the easiest thing in the world. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it is time consuming if you don't have experience doing it. How are you going to market yourself if you don't have a website? How are you going to market yourself if you do not have some type of online presence that says, hey, I am a registered nurse and a freelance content writer. Contact me for anything in, subject matter expertise around heart health and mental health. People aren't going to know that you're able to do content writing and that you do actually offer this as a service if you don't promote it online. I prefer to network and get in front of people, but even then, I may only have so much time with you to really convey who I am, what my services are, and any sample writing that I might have done. It's much easier when you have an online presence. So how much time do you have to dedicate to developing a website? And if you don't have the time for these things, a lot of people will say just throw money at it. In the beginning, that may be a little bit tougher to do, but if it's something that you feel as though is necessary to be delegated and you have the resources to do it, then do it. Okay, another idea or thing to think about. How much time do you have to create writing samples? If you have 0 writing samples and you just want to go out and tell people that you're a content writer, that's actually okay in the beginning, but at some point you should be creating a blog. You should be going to allnurses.com and getting samples produced there, which is pretty easy to do, at least at the time of this video it was. Medium, LinkedIn has an article feature. You need to be getting out there, putting content out, and it shouldn't be rushed. It should be content in which you are a subject matter expert. So if you have experience in labor and delivery, then maybe there's some current content that you want to create a story on. You need to start getting your samples out there and putting them out publicly so that people have an idea of your writing style and how you communicate information, how you disseminate information. So, how much time do you have for writing samples? That's another point to think about when starting your freelance writing business. The next point, how much time do you have to get on social media and LinkedIn? I say this because, again, this goes right with that online presence. People are not going to know who you are if you don't talk to them and tell them exactly who you are and what services you provide. And LinkedIn is definitely a place that I would recommend that you go and get yourself some exposure as a new freelance writer. We are all over LinkedIn, by the way. And by we, I mean healthcare professionals who have turned into health content writers. We are all over that website or all over that platform. And it's an awesome opportunity for you to connect with other people who might be just a little bit further ahead of you and are sharing their tips and their tricks and their experiences with transitioning into being a freelance writer, whether it's full-time or part-time like I am, or per diem, or whatever it is. So you need to find some time to engage with other people who are also doing the type of work that you want to do. Okay, and then on the money side, how much money do you have for startup fees? I'm gonna give y'all just a sliver of some of the fees that come with starting any business, okay? So a website, that varies based on whoever the host is, whether that's Wix or GoDaddy or Squarespace. I think Canva is also trying to get into that game. There's a fee for that. Usually it can be somewhere around $100, maybe $125 a year. And then the more years that you pay out, the cheaper that rate becomes. So how much money do you have for your website? Legal fees. Every state, jurisdiction, city, county will have their own setup fees and required filing fees. So it'll be your job to research all of that and make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row before you get your paid assignment money. Checking account, business checking account, really important here because a lot of people don't think about just how important it is to keep your business money separate from your personal money. When you are a freelance writer, that typically means, not most of the time, if not always, that typically means that you are a contract employee. That means that at the end of the year, you're receiving a 1099 or some form that says you are the responsible party for all of the taxes that should have been taken out of the money that you received for pay for your freelance articles. A lot of people get that confused. They think, oh, I can just go ahead and separate that out at the end of the year. Good luck. It may not be that easy. I highly recommend that if you're going to start a business and you're going to start collecting money for pay as a contract employee for any one company, that you set that money aside through a business checking account or a business saving account, whatever you decide is the best for you, but separate your business from your personal. Okay, and then other fees that I've spent on startup. Phone. I don't want people calling my personal cell phone, so you need to think about having a phone. I usually go through eVoice. eVoice, at the time of this video, at the time of the recording of this video, I think eVoice was probably around $20. I know that some people really love Rings. I think it's RingCentral. So that's another option, but there are plenty of places that you can go for about $20 a month to have a phone line for your business. And honestly, it's a really good look when you have a business phone number instead of your personal phone number, attached to your business, because remember, your phone number will become public if you attach it to your business. Okay, a registered agent. A registered agent is someone or an entity that will make sure that if you are out of compliance for any reason, that information, that notification gets to you as the business owner. So I choose to go through LegalZoom. I think it's like I want to say $250 a year maybe, but you can be your own registered agent in many states. I would highly recommend that you check with your business attorney for clarification on that to be sure. Okay. Other fees that I pay for out of pocket: Adobe and Microsoft. Those are subscriptions that I use as a writer, right? I need to be able to edit documents. So that's why I have Adobe. And then Microsoft Office, I have that to write my documents as well. And then Office Space. Office space is going to vary. Some people work out of their home. Some people work out of a virtual office or a physical office. I choose to use a virtual office. Regus is who I use, and I use them because, again, your business, if you are separating it from yourself, which will depend on what business structure you decide to set your business up with, I don't want people to know where I live, where I lay my head at night. So I use a virtual business address. Regus is very much a real company that has offices around the country, and you can rent an office space from them physically, or you can simply rent a mailbox from them. And with renting a mailbox from them, you have the luxury of using their office address as your business address. Again, highly recommend that you check in with a business attorney for any office space setup, for any business startup fees, especially the legal fees, because they are the experts. I am not. So I can only talk about my experience as a business owner in the state of California. Every state will vary. So please be sure that you are checking in with a business attorney and an accountant to keep your money right and to keep yourself legally on the right track. So yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. When is the right time to start a business? It really depends on you. How much time and money do you have to invest in the startup of your business? I can definitely say that the front end of starting a business is probably one of the hardest parts, but as you get yourself into a groove and start to get your clients, everything that you did on the front end is totally worth it, and is just that extra work that you're putting on the front end to be your own boss. Isn't that amazing? So if you liked what you heard, please subscribe to the channel. And if you have any comments or feedback, I'd love to hear from you. So please send a comment and let me know what you thought about the video.